Hi everybody, Avana Intuitive here for our weekly energy reading for the week of October 2nd, 2025. As we get started, I want to remind everyone that this is for entertainment purposes only. If this resonates, that's fine. If it doesn't, that's fine too. Please like, share, and subscribe on my YouTube channel. Of course, I'm always looking for more subscribers. I've been on for about 4 years now, and I'm still sitting around 615 subscribers. I'd love to make it to 1,000. That would be great, but I'll be happy to get to 700. So if you are watching, please subscribe. It's free. And if you have subscribed, please double check to make sure that you're still subscribed. That being the case, let's get started right away here. I am using this Animal Guides Tarot by Radleigh Valentine. I'm going to pull a clarifying card from the Fairy Tarot cards by Radleigh Valentine. And for our 3-card pick, I am using the Guardian Angel Messages Tarot by Radleigh Valentine. So, without further ado, I'm still shuffling here. I was shuffling the cards as we got started, and we are just looking for this energy reading for the week of October 2nd, 2025. I'm going to give the deck a few more shuffles. As we do these energy readings, we kind of go through and pull all the cards. We take a quick look at them, and then we do a deeper dive. I do like to read from their guidebooks because I think it's important that I can certainly get an intuitive hit, and I certainly do get intuitive hits on what these cards mean. But I just kind of enjoyed for this particular show to really see what they mean by their cards, what the artwork means to them, and what it means. Okay, so the first card that we got, and we'll go through all these. It's 6 of Earth, Kiwi. Then we got 15, Ego. Then we got the Page of Air. And this, and then for our clarifying card, this is 16, which is Life Experience. So we'll go through each of these cards. The first one we're going to start off with is this 6 of Earth. Of course, I have to find it. I never know what I'm going to get, so I can't mark anything beforehand. So here we go. I love this. This is the 6 of Earth, and this is a Kiwi. And here's what it says. It says, your success and prosperity have allowed you to pay off debts. Has allowed you to pay off debts, acquire wise loans, or receive a grant or scholarship. In return for these blessings, be sure to share the wealth with others through donations of time or money to reputable charities. I love that. This is like a balancing card. And it says, Kiwi, feeling financially secure, acquiring a loan or paying off a debt, monetary gifts. You have come to a place of peace and tranquility with money, or you soon will. This card symbolizes success and prosperity, but it comes with the message of charity. Now's the time to give to others in need, whether in the form of your time as a volunteer or financial gift, and to do so with a grateful heart for all that has been provided to you. There is a balance between giving and receiving, and as you give to others, the divine blesses you with gifts of your own. You may also find yourself getting a loan, paying off debt, or receiving a grant or scholarship. The kiwi is a flightless bird that lives in New Zealand. Kiwis have a very powerful sense of smell, so they represent having a good nose for the truth. This is relevant to the 6 of Earth, in that this card asks that you research to make sure your contributions are made to reputable and honest people or institutions. Kiwis also lay the largest eggs relative to their body size of any bird. Because of this, they symbolize an opportunity for you to give generous gifts to those who are less fortunate. So I love this card. It truly is a card of balance and, giving, but also receiving. If you need to receive charity or help, it's also a card for that too. Okay, then the next card is Ego, which is Siamese cat, and it says, you may feel that you're trapped in your situation, but that's not true. Be careful not to overly focus upon material wealth and break free of negative thinking. Siamese cat, dependence upon others, being very vocal. They are. I had a Siamese cat. He was very vocal. Fear and worry about having one's needs met. The ego card indicates a false sense of entrapment that may come from being overly focused upon material things. A frantic desire to accumulate wealth or a lack mentality can ensnare you in a state of fear or worry. You may then repeatedly verbalize those negative emotions, therefore creating a self-fulfilling prophecy. The Siamese cat asks you to let go of guilt and to have compassion for yourself and others. Free yourself from the mistaken notion that your life is in your own. Shift from neediness to self-care. Referred to as the royal cats of Siam, the country now known as Thailand, or sometimes royal points, Siamese were at one time so revered that only royalty was allowed to own them. Siamese cats are charming animals. However, they are a little more demanding than other cat breeds. They're usually very loving and playful, but also quite loud about communicating their desires with a vocalization that mimics the sound of a baby crying. While all the cats have a tendency towards independence, two Siamese traits make them more reliant upon their humans. The pale color of their coat provides poor camouflage, and their eyes lack the night vision of other cats. Having once more been at the mercy of predators than other breeds, the Siamese cat may be telling you that your fears are holding you back in an unnecessary way. Free yourself from insecurities by asking for support from the angels and compassionate people, which also is kind of the Six of Earth. It's a giving and a receiving card, right? You give charity, but you also can receive charity. You can receive help, which is very nice. Okay, and then this last card that we have is the Page of Air, and this is the Seagull. And it says, logical, truthful, curious, undiplomatic seagull. This is an intellectual challenge that calls upon your ability to think of a matching solution. If helpful information is put to you bluntly, accept the message without being bothered by the messenger. Seagull, an intriguing intellectual challenge, kindness in communication, changes or delays that require your attention. This situation speaks to your ability to think your way through any challenge that's presented to you. Because emotions are not always engaged with the seagull, it's important to remember to be compassionate. In your haste to solve a problem, you could speak more harshly than you mean to, or helpful information may be delivered to you in not the kindest of ways. Check contracts very carefully and gratefully accept objective feedback. The seagull represents a person who is excellent at assessing and solving any intellectual problem in a flash. However, her desire to be of assistance and her purely analytical way of thinking means she might communicate her solution rather curtly. Logical, truthful, curious, and rather undiplomatic, she is resourceful in a pragmatic way that may accidentally leave out the pleasantries. She doesn't mean to be unkind. In fact, if she realizes she has hurt your feelings, she will be very apologetic. Just remember that she's brilliant and has great ideas, so heed the message and ignore the messenger. If you can see past her lack of compassionate communication skills, she'll be of great help to you. Seagulls are clever birds who learn, remember, and even pass on behaviors. As their name implies, they spend a good bit of time in the air over water. As water represents emotion and air intellect, they are seen as flying high above currents of emotion and evaluating situations from a very cerebral viewpoint. Yeah, you kind of like, getting that thought of with the seagull is, from a bird's eye view, right? They can kind of see over everything. And then we have number 16 here for our clarifying card, which is life experience, which I will tell you looks to me like it's the Tower card. Oh my goodness, right? I'll read what it says here. It says, let go of belief systems that no longer work for you. An important life-changing event, a situation that leads to significant opportunities. Life experience. Change can be disconcerting, but it doesn't have to be something to fear. You're loved by the divine, and whatever new opportunities come your way are meant to make your life richer and more fulfilling. Ask God, the angels, and the fairies to provide signs that will lead you toward everything that's vibrant and uplifting. Keep your eyes on the future. What transitions do you see coming? How might you plan and prepare in order to continue on your path to happiness? If you watch the skies for coming challenges, then you can weather any storm and move on to new, exciting, peaceful horizons. Our fairy friends stand before the tour of St. Michael, ready to pray for guidance and direction about the next step to take, which I love this because they're talking about like seeing like a bird's eye view of things. It seems like this is kind of important for us this week. Giving and receiving, right? Giving, perhaps if you can give to a charity, or receiving information, receiving help, whatever it is, there's this balance. this week that we need to give and receive. There are people that have information we need. We need to speak with them. They may not be people who give that information in the most delightful manner, but we get the information we need and we move on. Then we cannot let our ego get in the way, right? We have to, again, even life experience, examine our belief systems. Our ego can be changed. It's like a mask. It's like, but it can be changed. I'm jealous. I want that car. I want that house. What's that person saying? You know, how am I not looking the best in somebody else's eyes, right? The ego can be moved around easily, but what we have in our heart and who we know ourselves to be, our soul, that source energy, that can never be changed. So when we find ourselves getting, upset, feeling like, with people, I'm not maybe looking as good as I could be out here in the world, that brings up emotions. Those emotions should immediately lead us to what is in our soul, who are we, and what do we need to, what belief systems do we have that need to be let go. Again, life experience, what are these belief systems that we need to take and analyze, let go, change them, or keep them. Maybe we like them. Maybe we say, you know what, I like that belief system that I have. But if we can release belief systems that we no longer need, I think we raise our vibration, we become, to me, like happier, calmer, more peaceful, because we are realizing that we know who we are. And when you go out in the world and you don't have a mask on, when we do all have, I think, some type of mask on, right? I mean, we're never going to be maskless, of course, because we want to kind of, in some respects, I'm going to say this, but in some respects, you want to go along to get along. But that's fine, unless things are really going against your belief systems, or things need to change, or you need to extricate yourself out from a group of people or whatever, or a situation that it really just doesn't, that really just doesn't serve you anymore. And I'm not saying that things need to serve you or serve us, or we don't deal with them. But if they're not, positive, vibrant, abundant, why am I here? I mean, I can move on. But I love that. I love that we got a few references to having that bird's eye view, right? Looking at things from a new perspective, a higher perspective, a higher vibration perspective, is what I just heard. It's not just being physically out looking at things, but it's also that higher vibration that we want to hopefully change our belief systems to get up into that vibration, and what's the best part is if we don't, that's okay too, because you know what, we can't get it wrong, and it never ends, because we are energy, and our energy just continues. Once energy is created, it cannot be, it cannot be destroyed. So it's like, yes, we know who we are, right? I know who I am. Our soul, our source in here knows who we are. So I love that. A beautiful message of really just kind of coming back to, I just heard coming back to our roots, coming back to our source, who we are, and taking a look and seeing if that ego has maybe gotten us a little bit off track somewhere. It's okay. Happens to all of us. It's going to happen all the time anyway. So we just keep working on it. All right. And again, keep working on it if we so choose. It's all about free will. Oh, that's what I love about all this stuff. If you want to deal with it, you can deal with it. And if you don't, no, you don't have to. So, okay, here we go. This is for our 3-card pick for the Guardian Angels Tarot. So, I'm thinking, if you have maybe a message you're looking, a spirit guide type message, or if you are looking for maybe some guidance on an answer that you need for something. Let me just shuffle these cards a few times, and then we'll do this 3-card pick. I'm going to shuffle one more time. Okay, here we go. And here we go. 3-card pick. Card 1, card 2, card 3. Think about which card resonates with you. If you picked card 1, you got the 6 of air. And this is relief, hope, and moving on. This is really moving to smoother waters, right? I know we've all kind of had a rough go of it lately, and we probably will still continue to have a rough go of it. That's just life. But if you picked card 1, I love it. The relief, the hope, the moving on to smoother waters. Kind of goes into the spirit message that we had today. If you picked card 2, you got the 4 of air. And this is meditation, recuperation, and contemplation. I love this card. It's stepping back. It's, again, who am I? What is important to me? What's the next step? getting those messages maybe through meditation, through dreams, through contemplating, but kind of stepping out of the fray of things for a while we regroup, re-energize, and come back to like ground ourselves. In fact, and I love this that he's laying on the ground. Really, it might be time to ground yourself. If you picked card 3, you got the 7 of air, and this says awareness, caution, and consequences. This to me is a true strategy card in changing your strategy. Maybe somebody's looking to take something from you, whether it's an idea or it's or something physical, maybe stealing. I'm not trying to scare you or anything like that, but this card basically represents a strategy change. Maybe it's as simple as locking your car doors. Maybe it's as simple as whatever. But this card to me, awareness, being aware of what's out there, cautious, and knowing that there could be consequences if we're not doing like our due diligence to keep ourselves safe. And sometimes that is safe on many levels. Our personal, our physical self safe, our emotional self safe, whatever. But to me, this card really does, knowing all that leads to me to read this card as us making a strategy change, no matter what that has to be. So it may be time for a strategy change if you got this card. All right, my friends, I will see you tomorrow for our weekend energy readings. I'm so happy that you stayed and that you're here. I love doing these weekly readings. The energy always comes together, and I just love that. That being said, namaste.